The rules are much more relaxed in small claims court. Neither part, sir, we're in a court proceeding. I'm going to ask you to put the Red Bull down. You were drinking before, but we hadn't started yet. So pretend we're in a court hearing. People don't smoke or eat or drink while we're in the hearing. And this is a power and control and manipulation by loaning her $1,000. Stop that.
I said sorry.
Which gave you some power and control. All right, our next matter and our final matter of the day is Meebs. Is that how you say it?
Oh yeah, it's just an abbreviation, but yep, that works.
Meebs LLC versus Cecilia Stalzer. Meebs is by Michael Mostrom. Yes. Would both of you please raise your right hand? You both swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a claim for $1,000 for, depends on who you ask. Mr. Mostrom claims that it is an advance on work that was to be reimbursed by services to the company.
Correct.
Ms. Stalzer states we were in a relationship and this was a gift. There is a bunch of text messages which are very hard to discern. They were hard to read the way they were scanned in, and it's hard to tell who was talking to who. At any rate, there's more going on here than a claim for $1,000. This is a relationship that has come to an end. If I understand correctly, Ms. Stalzer, you have a personal protection order against Mr. Mostrom?
Correct, Your Honor.
And what county is that from?
That'd be Ingham County.
Eaton County?
Ingham County.
Ingham, okay. So we've ended up with this lawsuit. Mr. Mostrom, why do you believe she owes you $1,000?
As I put in the addendum, back on February 9th, I issued the $1,000 cash advance under, again, multiple pretenses that we both talked about in person and text and email and every sort of communication, that she would be working those funds off as time proceeded. And I issued her the advance based on the understanding that it was going to help alleviate the stress that she was having with her parents at the time, as they were constantly on her for not paying back her monthly student loan bills. Cecilia was stressed out. I was mentally, emotionally affected. She was in tears multiple days about it. I was just trying to help in that retrospect. And the company needed the help too, as time progressed too, that I needed more hours put in on her end as well, because I couldn't do it all myself. And again, she multiple times agrees throughout that time period that she would be doing that. And then of course she never did.
Before we go farther, I guess I need to take a minute and talk about what small claims court is about. This is a separate division of the 3B district court. The rules are much more relaxed in small claims court. Neither part, sir, we're in a court proceeding. I'm going to ask you to put the Red Bull down. You were drinking before, but we hadn't started yet. So pretend we're in a court hearing. People don't smoke or eat or drink while we're in the hearing. Neither party is allowed to have an attorney. There's no formal record being made of the proceedings, and any decision here is final. Either party has the right to remove the matter from the small claims division to the general division of the court. You have to tell me that before we begin. Mr. Mostrom, you agree with that?
I do agree. Yep.
And Ms. Stalzer, you agree as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Was she an employee of the company at that time?
Yes, she was.
What was her position?
We had her put in as administrative assistant. Her title on her email was office manager on that retrospect as well.
Was she salaried or hourly?
Hourly. And her hourly pay was $18 an hour, which it was noted within the pay stub that it was an advance, and it would total of 55.55 hours of work at that rate of $18 an hour to equal that $1,000.
That's in the pleadings. Was
Yep.
that supposed to be 55.55 hours of work as overtime each week, or she just wouldn't get paid for a week?
No, in general, just total amount of hours in general worked.
Well, how was that to be tracked?
Well, we track based on what she was doing. If she was working, then it all goes into my workforce, which is in QuickBooks via login.
All right, well, so she worked no time after this? She gets no
She
return?
worked 0 hours after this advance was given.
All right, I didn't understand that.
Mhm. Shortly thereafter, the next weekend, there was a issue that she had with her family in her hometown. And then she did not come back after that point to do any sort of work related activities whatsoever.
I'm not telling you that anything you shouldn't know. This is fraught with danger.
Yep.
You don't hire your girlfriend for your company, give her an advance and try to launder it through the company. And then when the deal goes bad, then you want your money back. That's very poor business practice. But she says this wasn't an advance, it was a gift. Ms. Stalzer, what's your position?
Yes, Your Honor. He tried on multiple counts saying that it was an advance pay, and I have text messages showing that I said no, and it would be held over my head, and I would send him a check, and he said no, it is for my loans and help with stress. And he kept saying no, thank you, that he would not take the check that I tried telling him I would give back. And he said he appreciates the offer though. Um, this sounds like it's more of a relationship kind of thing rather than him just wanting the money. There was a domestic violence on him, and that was proceeding with the PPO that I currently have on him. I had multiple accounts where I tried to get him to leave me alone, and once the PPO was in place, that's when he proceeded with this court.
These are called small claims divorces by the district judges. Nobody likes these. Their relationship ends and it ends up in a small claims lawsuit where one party's trying to get back at the other one. All right, I was reviewing the texts, and as I said, one, they're hard to read, and two, it's hard to tell who's saying what. Do you have a specific date that you're, and the guys are really hard to read. Ty, going to send you a check because I don't want any of that held over my head anymore. Stop. No, it was for your loans to help with the stress. So the lighter colored is you, correct? Going to send you a check because I don't want any of that held over my head. Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor, and that was on 2/26 of 24.
All right. He says, stop. No, it was for your loans to help with the stress. That's him. Mr. Mostrom?
That is correct. On that.
All right. I wasn't asking you, I was asking her. So then you say parents are helping. No, thank you. That's him. As I said, I know you can work it off with helping me with work anyways. Was just a loan, quote unquote, to help initially because there we were gone giving you crap every day and that stress on you. Appreciate the offer though. Mike, I don't want it constantly on my mind. And I can't read his response.
Your Honor, his next is, it's okay. Literally was trying to help with exactly what I said, and I knew you would work it off anyways, because I definitely need your help. And then I'm sorry for bringing it up yesterday. That's on me and won't ever happen again. I promise that. And then I proceeded with, okay, I asked why you'd like to not do it in the first place, and he said that he understands. And then I proceeded with, because I knew it would be an issue at some point. And then he said, I get it. It's all good.
What does that mean?
If you go a step farther, it then says maybe you can drive me some places soon for work or get everything organized with the office stuff like I need or work on some debates. Is that fair? And she says, okay.
Well, that gives you a handle on her. She offers to pay the $1,000 back to just get it over with. So, and you keep calling it a loan, although it wasn't a loan she asked for. She didn't say, hey, will you lend me $1,000? You gave her $1,000 to help with stress. She offered to pay it back. And you said, no, you can work it off, which means you still got control over the situation. She just wants to pay it back and be done with it. And you deny the domestic violence, and I don't think there was a domestic violence charge, but there was enough that a judge in Ingham County issued a personal protection order. So after the personal protection order was issued, you filed this small claims for $1,000.
Actually, that was opposite. I spoke to her mother about filing the small claim stuff, and then her mother said immediately after in one of the text messages, that's when they filed the PPO.
Is that true, Ms. Stalzer?
Your Honor, the PPO was signed on 4/12 and it was served on 4/19. And he tried saying that I owed, and it was a formal notice on April 16th that I owed him this $1,000.
This was filed on April 29th. So the PPO preceded the small claims case. All right. Ms. Stalzer, anything else you want me to know?
Your Honor, other than that he continued to contact me and work things out relationship-wise all the way up until basically March. I have messages of where actually it was April 12th is his last text to me, and it was just like a picture, and it was a picture, and he just commented like a picture was taken over a year ago today. So it's just very confusing. And then also he invited me to go to Florida with him for work, and I could just tag along. And this was also all after they tried taking me or threatening me to court.
All right, Mr. Mostrom, you're the plaintiff. I'll give you the last word. Anything?
Yeah, as I mentioned, there are 6, 7, 8 different times where she has basically understood that it was an advance, it was a loan to her that would be paid back. The reason why I did not accept it back at that February time frame was strictly because she didn't have the funds to do it. The stress that she was having with her family was affecting her very, very much so. At the end of the day, yes, I'm a business owner. She was an employee of mine. The reason why she was an employee of mine is because she had 2 shoulder surgeries within a year and physically could not do other jobs. She didn't have time to even go and do an orientation or anything because she was in multiple surgeries. So I hired her as basically an option so she would have funds, which she did great work for months. Did a great job and helped me out quite a bit. It was just all of a sudden towards this end time where she decided to step away. And as you saw in multiple messages throughout, attacked me verbally quite a bit as far as how it didn't matter what I said or did. She was never going to pay me back, and I didn't deserve it at the end of the day.
All right. This is a end of relationship thing. And this is a power and control and manipulation by loaning her $1,000. Stop that.
I said sorry.
Which gave you some power and control over her. She offered to pay it back. You declined, and I'm not going to be used by the court to manipulate her any further. You get 0. I find no cause for the plaintiff. Defendant offered to repay the money. The plaintiff declined for reasons that he would still have contact with her. She filed a personal protection order, and after the personal protection order was filed, he filed this action to collect on this nebulous, poorly thought out quote unquote loan. I'm not gonna be a part of it. You get zero. Ms. Stalzer, you're free to go on about your business. Mr. Mostrom, the PPO is still in effect. Maybe you can both move on from this, but I'm not gonna be used to manipulate her any further.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Stalzer, you're free to go.
Thank you.